Good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook video where I'm going to discuss with you all the major dollar pairs and gold. Yesterday, what happened? Yesterday was a really big day where me personally did a lot of things wrong, and we're just going over the pairs and I'm going to talk about what happened in my instance and what I could have done better. So what we can see on Euro USD is that we touch in towards this daily demand zone after taking out the liquidity above here. And now what we got on the 4 hour is after we took out liquidity, we kept respecting the most immediate 4 hour swing low with this our swing high. If we then draw our retracement tool, we can see that we retrace down in towards the discount zone. And now what happened is that we broke the supply chain that was formed over here. So what we can do is we can remove this, and we are still trading in this supply, but I do now expect demand to take over. What we can then see on the 4 hour is that we had a demand zone, or have a demand zone situated over here between the last sell before the buy up that also broke the structure over here. And I do expect some more upside now. This is going to be 4 hour and bullish like this. So yeah, what happened is that we've now broken in towards the upside over here, the internal structure, and on the 1 hour this is swing structure, also broke bullish. So yeah, let's see what we can get. I'm going to the 1 hour to see what happened here. So we had a break of structure over here from the 1 hour perspective, 1 hour swing BOS, and then we broke our structure in towards the upside here. Let me check. Now we've broken the last high over here. I have to look really carefully now. So what we can do is push down lower back in towards this demand zone, or take out this low and then see some continuation in towards the upside from there. And together with the 4 hour, we could either say that this is our whole demand zone and we want to just tap into that and then back out again in towards the highs, or I want to retrace a little bit further down and then trade in towards the highs. But at least what I do expect is that we are now going to trade towards this high here, and there is still a lot of liquidity open beneath these highs over here. So like this, these can all be taken out. So let's wait for next week, maybe a push down, then some confirmation, and then a continuation long in towards the highs. On DXY, what happened is that we were still trading inside this demand zone over here. This supply zone over here. And I did honestly make a mistake, because I was talking about how I wanted to see the DXY trade down lower from last week on. What happened is we took some internal liquidity here. We can just ignore this candle. I have decided that it's only on this exchange, so it's not real. We took out liquidity, we started to have a push down, we then continued up, we swiped liquidity from this high over here. So the people that started selling here got taken out, and then a massive reaction in towards the downside yesterday. As you guys know, I have been talking about how I wanted to see DXY with lower prices, and how I was waiting for this on several pairs, and in the end I did not take any short positions. I had a USD CHF short position still situated here, and my orders were in, and then Yesterday morning, I saw that the USD CHF continued up higher from here, and I was like, okay, it's not going to happen anymore. DXY is just going to continue down higher with the order flow that was forming, because yesterday I talked about how we had some 4-hour order flow over here, bullish order flow, and how I wanted to just see then a tap in towards this zone and then a tap back out in towards the highs, filling up this gap here. But you know, as most of the times, what you should do is stick with your bias and stick with your plan. And that's what I didn't do, and I had to pay a price for this. On GU, what we can see is that from this 4-hour demand zone over here and the yearly open, we beautifully pushed further up. Also, I was looking at buying GU from somewhere over here, but with the DXY going in towards the upside, I wasn't comfortable with putting a order in. We did not take out this low. The swing low was still protected. We retraced down in towards discount, and then we had a 1-hour break of structure over here and our 4-hour break of structure over here. But because of the momentum yesterday, there really wasn't any pullback that you could have entered on, so only with a buy stop this would have worked. But at least our bias is still correct. What we then can do now on the 4-hour is mark out that over here we have a new 4-hour break of structure, and this is now our swing low, and then we can make a new zone, and we would want to see at least a retracement in towards the 0.5, some new confirmation, and then some continuation longs together with DXY, then having a little bit of a pullback and see if we can get this confirmed, because there is still a lot of liquidity open above here that we can take out in the near future. Then on NZD USD also continued up higher from our marked out zone. We did not manage to grab the liquidity, or yes, we did grab all the liquidity underneath these two lows and underneath this bump in the road. And afterwards we saw a 4-hour change of character over here, but also just continued up higher. What we can do now, because we didn't take out the highs just yet, is mark out this as our demand zone over here. This is our new 4-hour demand zone that we've just created, so I'm going to mark it out as 4-hour demand, 4-hour bullish chain, and we want to see a retracement down, then some confirmation again, and then some continuation in towards the upside. Also still a lot of liquidity open to be grabbed, so let's just see what we can get, and I'm going to place a alert over here. This is all going to be for next week, because today is Friday and a lot of bank holidays, and I'm not going to trade on a Friday. Then we have AUD USD. AUD USD took us out of the position, perfectly tapped the 0.5, tapped in towards this little demand zone over here, and then pushed back out higher. So yeah, that's just really unfortunate for my position. But once again, we tapped the 0.5 into discount prices, and then we now saw a break in towards the upside. On the 1 hour, is there anything we can do? I mean, there are some liquidity lows situated over here. If we now do consider this over here our swing low and swing high, then either we want to see a retracement down towards maybe this liquidity, weekly open, and then see a change of character to continue in towards the upside. And otherwise, if it just want to go higher from here, then too bad, I missed the trade, and let's see what we can get in towards next week then. But for now, on the 1 hour, this is what I am going to look for. If we can maybe with the open of next week trade down a little bit lower, together with DXY retracing a bit higher, take out some liquidity, and then further in towards the upside. USD CAD also, as you can see, perfect analysis, but I I didn't push the sell button. Um, yeah, because of a few stop losses I took in a row, my trading psychology got the better of me, and because of that, I didn't take this trade, even though it was really beautiful. What we looked at over here on the 4 hour in first instance is that we had a breakdown in towards the downside. 4 hour breakdown. I drew the retracement tool. I wanted to see a retracement in towards at least the zero point 0.5 and the premium prices. Then on the 1 hour, we could see even better how we took out some liquidity but didn't get a reaction. Then over here, we started to consolidate a bit. And I said that I wanted to see some real power come into the market, some manipulation, so a push above the highs. We took out this internal liquidity. We tapped inside the refined demand zone. And then on the 4 hour break, I wanted to enter a position. But then we started to consolidate a little bit, and I wasn't really certain about the fact that we were going to trade down lower. Then over here we broke structure in towards the downside. I could have entered on the liquidity over here with this position that we see here, maybe a position even a little bit higher on this wick here. Would have been a perfect 1 to 2, but I didn't take it, as after yesterday taking another loss on the JPY pairs, I decided to close the charts and go touch some grass, because I really had to work on my mental state after that. But that's still the reality of trading. For USD CAD, what I would like to see now is what we did on the 4 hour once again, is we broke structure in towards the downside. 4 hours break of structure. And that means that now this is our swing high and swing low, and we would once again need to see a retracement in towards the 0.5 to, and maybe the supply zone over here, to see some change of character, and then continuation in towards the downside. There is still room to trade towards this low over here, in my opinion. So either way, what we can do is just trade down there immediately, or just make a pullback and then trade towards this low. And then of course there are some more ugly ascending lows to be taken out over here. So let's watch for that, and let's see if we can actually execute on the next move, because this is the thing that I make my analysis and they are pretty good, and I'm most of the time right, but then in the execution there's still a lot to learn for me, because I seem to fuck up on the execution. USD JPY yesterday first traded down a little bit higher, and then some news about JPY intervention came, some tweets, and as you can see, it dropped down really hard in towards the downside. If we go to the daily now, what we can see is that we're taking out a lot of the liquidity that's still situated over here. Let's see what we can get on USD JPY, but I'm not really comfortable with trading the JPY pairs in the coming period, because I really want some clarity on what's happening on the JPY pairs. Then USD CHF. USD CHF, in my opinion, can trade down lower towards this swing low over here. On the daily, what we can see is we retraced in towards the premium zone. We took out liquidity and we started to break down even lower. Then from here on, we had a strong supply zone, and we had our beautiful confirmation that I missed out on because I didn't execute. So now what we can expect is either we're going to take out this low immediately, and afterwards we have a new 4-hour break of structure. We wait for some pullback in towards the 0.5, and then see if we can get in towards the next move in towards the downside, because I still think this pair can go down a little bit lower. Also, if we look, we are really bearish on the higher time frame, so our narrative stays in towards the downside, and we're going to see if we can catch some nice short positions for the next move. Maybe even more beautiful if we can trade up in towards this supply zone over here, close this gap, and then from there on see a change of character and in towards the downside. But for now, the immediate structure is still in between this high and this low, and the move for now has already gone. So it's going to be waiting and see if we can catch some nice moves in the upcoming month and weeks. Then last but not least, we have gold, and gold started to break 4-hour structure in towards the upside. We are now coming back in towards the demand zone that's created over here. So we can mark out this as a demand zone, 4-hour demand. Let's see, bullish chain. And now we would want to see some confirmation inside this zone that we can trade up higher. As I've stated, we have a lot of liquidity still to be grabbed above these highs, and still the liquidity above the high over here. So there are some targets situated a little bit higher. If we then go to the 1 hour, what we can see is that we broke the supply zone that was in control. So now indeed the demand zone and the upward movement, bullish movement, is once again in control. The only thing is that this move in towards the upside did not provide us with a lot of liquidity, so preferably I would be seeing that this gets taken out, then a change of character once again, and then in towards the highs we can see a nice position, and then I want to buy stop this over here, stop loss underneath this low, and then a 1 to 2 risk to reward, only if we can get the confirmation. But also on gold, it looks for me good to trade down or to trade up in towards the highs. Only thing is we didn't touch the 0.5. Yes, we took out some liquidity, but there is still some liquidity open underneath these lows as well. So it could also be that we just got some buyers in. Now we're going to swipe below, touch the 0.5, and then the real move. So that is something to really look out for, and that's why I'm saying that I want to see at least this low get taken out, and then a real confirmation with some aggression in towards the upside, confirming for me that we can look for more longs. As of now, this demand over here is in control. This is the last demand zone that pushed the price up. But as this 1 hour demand zone, it's not really strong for me, because we didn't take out any liquidity with this move in towards the downside. So yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on gold as well, and just going to wait for some confirmation. I'm going to journal and review my April, because April has been really, really tough for me. From the 10 trades taken, 9 were stop loss, and this is really not in my edge. So I did make some mistakes, and I'm going to review what these mistakes were, and I'm going to come back even stronger in May. And we're going for those A+ setups in the coming month. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekends, and let's get back stronger on next day, Monday. Bye.